Hi everyone, this is Nina and welcome back to another sewing tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to make these very cute and very functional double-sided storage baskets. Additionally, I'll also explain how to add ruffles to make your baskets even cuter. This is a beginner-friendly project you can complete in under 30 minutes. Not only do these baskets help keep your things organized, they also make a lovely decoration. I've made so many of them already and I love how pretty they are. I created 4 different sizes for this storage basket, and in today's video, I'll be showing you a step-by-step tutorial for the small size. Here are the dimensions you'll need to make this basket. These baskets also make great gifts for friends and family. You can use them to organize your tools, fabric scraps, yarn, and so much more. I made this mini basket to store my sewing clips. It is the perfect size and I love how cute it looks. In this tutorial, I'll be using my own pattern. If you'd like to support me and make your baskets easier, faster, and more precise, I've also made a printable pattern that includes all 4 sizes linked down below. It includes all the measurements and options to make your basket to the size that best suits your needs. For my basket, I'm using a floral flannel fabric as the main fabric and a pink gingham cotton fabric for the lining. I'm also using fusible fleece to add thickness and structure to the basket. Without any padding, the basket may not be able to stand on its own or hold anything heavy. I like using fusible fleece because it has glue dots on one side, allowing me to iron the fabric onto it and make the outer layer of the basket look smooth and neat. The one I'm using here is 180 grams. I like this weight because it gives a nice amount of structure without making the basket look too thick or stiff. Instead of fusible fleece, you can also use batting to create a quilted look like this one here, which is also super cute. Next, I cut out all my fabric pieces by laying the pattern on the wrong side of the folded fabric, marking the pattern onto it and cutting it out. Because I need 2 pieces of each fabric, I like to fold the fabric once before cutting so I can cut both pieces at the same time. After cutting out my main fabric pieces, I repeated the same method for my lining and fusible fleece. Here are all 6 pieces ready to go. You'll need to cut 2 pieces for each material. Now I'm going to attach the main fabric to the fusible fleece. I place the main fabric directly onto the fusible fleece with the wrong side of the fabric facing the glue dots. Then I smooth out the fabric from the center to avoid any wrinkles and ironed everything together. This is how it looks once the fusible fleece has been attached. With everything ready, I'm going to start sewing the basket by placing the main fabric pieces right sides together. After making sure all the edges are aligned, I clip them in place so they stay aligned while I sew. Next, I'm going to stitch the left, right, and bottom edges with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Starting from the right-hand side, I sewed along the 3 edges, adding back stitches at the beginning and end of every seam to prevent them from unraveling. This is how it looks after the sides have been sewn. Next, I'm going to box the corners of my basket by pinching the fabric together to create a straight line. I make sure to align the seams in the center and clip everything in place. A small tip for achieving perfectly matched corners in your finished product is to press the seam allowances to opposite sides. Pressing the seams this way helps the layers align as they go through the machine, so the fabric lines up perfectly at the corners. If you're a beginner wanting to achieve clean professional results, I would recommend trying this method. I sewed the corners with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and added back stitches at the beginning and end of each seam. After that's done, I'm going to flip the basket right side out and gently poke out the corners. As you can see here, the seams are nicely aligned on both sides of the basket using the method that I mentioned earlier. Next, I'm going to assemble the lining of the basket using the same method as before, except I'll leave an opening along the bottom edge. I place the lining pieces right sides together, then clip and sew the left, right, and bottom edges with back stitches. The only difference here is that I left about an 8 cm or 3 inch opening along the bottom edge so I can turn the basket right side out later. I then sewed the corners of the lining using the same method as before. Now that the lining is finished, I'm going to keep it as it is and not turn it right side out for the next step. Next, I'll attach the lining to the basket by placing the basket inside the lining. The main thing to pay attention to here is making sure the side seams and the corners of both layers line up. Once I've checked that nothing is twisted and that the basket fits neatly inside the lining, I match the top edges of both layers and clip them in place. At the side seams, I press the seam allowances to opposite sides again, just like before, so it lines up perfectly in the final product. I like to use plenty of clips here to prevent the layers from shifting. Once everything is clipped, I sewed along the top edge of the basket with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, adding back stitches to secure the seam. Next, I turn the basket right side out through the opening I left along the bottom edge. After checking that everything is lined up properly, I pinch the opening closed, tucking the raw edges inside and sewed very close to the edge to close it. For a clean and professional finish, I also top stitched around the top edge of the basket. And we're finished. You've just made yourself a reversible storage basket that's cute inside and out. I like to fold the top down by a couple of centimeters on my baskets to show the contrast between the fabrics. It is so much fun picking out fabrics for this project. You can mix and match different colors and patterns and flip your basket for a completely different look. If you want to take your baskets to the next level and make them even cuter, you can add ruffles around the top. To make the ruffles, you'll need to cut a strip of fabric that's about 1.5 to 2 times the length of the top edge of your basket. The longer the strip, the more ruffles you'll get. For my small basket, I cut a strip that's 8 centimeters wide and 85 centimeters long. I first folded the strip in half lengthwise and pressed it with an iron. Next, to create the ruffles, I switched my machine to the longest stitch length, which is 4 on my machine. Then I sewed 2 rows of basting stitches along the raw edge. One row about a 1/4 inch away from the edge, and the second row another 1/4 inch away from the first. Remember to not backstitch here. After sewing the basting stitches, I separated the top and bobbin threads. Holding onto the top threads, I gently pulled them to gather the fabric. As I did this, I checked the length of the ruffles against the top edge of the basket to make sure they'll match. I also evened out the gathers as I went. Once the gathers looked right, I stitched the ends of the ruffles together using French seams so there will be no raw edges visible on either side of the basket. To do this, I first sewed the ends together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, then trimmed the seam allowance down by about half. After that, I flipped the ruffles to the other side, folded the ends and sewed again with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, enclosing the raw edges on the inside. To attach the ruffles to the basket, simply sew them to the right side of the main fabric with the raw edges of the ruffles aligned with the top edge of the basket. I used a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is just slightly less than a 1/4 inch. After the ruffles are attached, you can remove the basting stitches and follow the same steps as before to finish the rest of the basket. Place the basket inside the lining, match the side seams, and stitch around the top edge. When top stitching a basket with ruffles, make sure to push the ruffles away from the top edge and top stitch only the basket. This will make sure that the ruffles are visible on both sides once the basket is finished. I love how the ruffles look on the basket. They're easy to make, super cute, and a lovely addition. The ruffles are also double-sided, so you can see them on either side of the basket. If you want to make your regular fabric baskets more interesting, this is a nice and simple way to add more texture. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see me make next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.